President Trump says the war will end, quote, pretty soon. Netanyahu of Israel claims it will take as long as necessary. Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich joining us this morning. Sir, I think Trump wants this to end quickly to limit damage in the midterms. What do you think?
Well, sure. I mean, I think you have to be practical. He would like it to be over as soon as it can be. I think it depends in part on how much damage they can finish doing to the Iranian dictatorship. And they are making progress. And, you know, I was thinking this morning, all these people running around worrying about how long this is taking. It took us 8 years for Washington to win his independence. It took 4 years to win the Civil War. People today have this fantasy idea that you can take a dictatorship which has spent 50 years trying to defeat us, has prepared for this war for 50 years, and in a week or two, there's some magic, solution. I think that the Israelis and the Americans are gaining ground. I think they are steadily chewing up the Iranian dictatorship. It may take 3 or 4 more weeks, but my guess is this will not, in the long run, affect the elections. People need to remember, as long as you're prepared to campaign starting in July, I was with George H.W. Bush when he was behind by 19 points in May. He won the election. Harry Truman was so far behind, Gallup quit polling. He won the election. So I think people should not try to take a snapshot of March and then project it to November. And I think, frankly, this summer, the contrast between the radical left and the Republicans will be so great that I'm pretty confident we're going to win the election this fall.
Okay, good. Mr. Speaker, a new report says the conflict in Iran has put a strain on our country's relationship with some close allies. The administration has criticized many countries. They're just not offering sufficient military help. What do you think of this friction, especially with the Europeans? Is it a real big split?
There's a profound difference about the future, which Vice President Vance communicated last year, Marco Rubio communicated this year. Callista and I were with the president at the World Economic Forum in Davos when he communicated it. And part of the difference is about our role in the world, the fact that we protected Europe from having liberated it after World War II. We protected it all through the Cold War. We are still the primary protectors of Europe. They need to learn to do their fair share. And then second, we have huge differences about the future. We think you're going to get to the future by innovation. They think you can hide from the future by regulation. It doesn't work. And lastly, the truth is they don't have very much militarily that would affect things. It would be nice if they would help a little bit. It would make people feel better if they would help a little bit. But in the end, it's the American-Israeli coalition which is going to win this fight. And having one ship from France or one ship from Britain is not a very big contribution. And the truth is, if you look at the British Navy right now, it is so underfunded, they can't do very much. They just don't have the capacity.
They've got 2 aircraft carriers, both of which are in dry dock for repairs. That's right. Not good news. But, I mean, can they turn this around? I mean, because they're in great difficulty because the Strait of Hormuz is essentially closed. It's really tough on the Europeans. Don't they see their interest here?
One, I don't think they see their interest, and I don't think they're prepared to make an effort. You barely get them to make an effort to protect Ukraine, which is in their backyard and which is a direct threat from Russia. To get them to think in some serious way about projecting power back into the Arabian Gulf and reopening the Straits of Hormuz, I think it'd be very hard for them to psychologically to do it. I think we have to recognize, as we did, by the way, with Reagan in the late 1980s, we kept open the Straits of Hormuz, and it may take a substantial campaign, but I think in 2 or 3 weeks, if we focus on it, we can break the back of the Iranian effort to close the straits. And if God, look, this is March. If oil has returned by June to what it will be probably its natural post-war price, which is $60 or $70 a barrel, dropping it down into the 250 range per gallon, we're going to be fine. I think people need to put this in context. The Iranian dictatorship from 1979 has called America the Great Satan. They have routinely chanted death to America, and they mean it. They kidnapped our diplomats illegally in 1979 and held them for 444 days. They killed over 240 Marines in Lebanon. They have been fighting us. They've been at war. And that's part of why they were prepared to endure this. But I do think we are beginning to tear apart the fabric of the dictatorship. And I do think out of the 90 million Iranians, probably 85 million would like to get rid of the dictatorship. And that's why they killed 30-something thousand people. Yeah. Think about that. Earlier this year, they killed over 30,000 people to keep the regime in power. This is a moment to break the regime, to open up the Gulf, and the world will then be unbelievably different.
This is the moment. Newt Gingrich, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us, sir. See you again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.